Hello everyone, welcome to a World of Warship Blitz video. Today's video is the Tier 6 British heavy cruiser, the Devonshire. The Hawkins being the Tier 5 is awaiting a video. It's just awaiting a reasonable game. So the heavy cruiser line is probably what I'm going to say is unimpressive at mid-tiers. So I have the London, which is the equivalent, I suppose, of the Devonshire, but the premium that came out in a Blitz pass. And I'd have to say that I find the London far superior on a number of grounds, but most considerably because it has a smokescreen, which the Devonshire does not, which makes the Devonshire, well, it's sort of like a Tier 6, yeah, well, it's like a Tier 6 Hawkins, really. So it does have the advantage that the guns are mounted in turrets, front and rear, so you have a little less of a scramble if you're doing turns. Your guns are easier to maintain coordination of, which is good. But without that smoke screen, you are in British cruiser armour with, not much in the way of ways to quickly get yourself out of trouble. So the key thing with this is to stay out of trouble. Now, to help it stay out of trouble, it does have high explosive. And high explosive means that at long range, it can actually, well, do damage. So you're not just firing randomly at destroyers. Like, this guy here is really pushing the envelope. Travelled in between two friendlies, but yeah. So looking at the map, if our destroyer's up there, and it's unlikely that the enemy ship have got any enemy ships heading into the cap. Earlier in the game, I'm not sure if you will have seen it. The cap on the other side, opposite, went red very quickly, so the destroyer is definitely out the other side of the map. So the lone destroyer on the enemy team, given that the one on this side is gone. It might have been a bot, the one on this side, the way it behaved, but anyway. So anyway, here we are. We've got New Mexico. I'm going to join in the battle. There's a couple of destroyers there that are keeping him busy. My most likely contribution to this battle is distraction, because the New Mexico, oh no, he's heading away, so distraction's not going to be the issue. He's busy getting hammered by our destroyers. He's retreating, so we're boxing them in. We've got 3 caps to their 1. They are pushing up the other flank, so they'll push us out of that cap eventually. But in the meantime, someone has made a bit of a mistake. Well, apart from this guy, obviously, because he's not turned. And that someone is... well, no, hold on, I think it was a different game. There was one game where a carrier came out this side. I'm pretty sure it was this game, but it's not, obviously. So, yeah. That'll be a story I'll tell for another time, where the carrier decided to get close to the action and, well, wasn't obviously watching the mini-map about where his friends were. Anyway, as it turns out, this is pretty much the best case scenario for a ship like the Devonshire, which is just long-range bombardment, while the enemy is distracted with closer range targets. Not got a great damage total, and I'm not expecting it. Yeah, so I mean, this ship will obviously do fairly well against destroyers, reasonable well against light cruisers, but against battleships, yeah, the lack of armour and the lack of smokescreen are going to be a challenge there. So we're just quietly working our way in. The destroyers are doing most of the work here. Yeah, so the battleships, they catch the battleships while they're distracted and basically pump them full of torpedoes. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it means that, yeah, a lot of the glory is going that direction. We're pushing into this cap, so the enemy's pushed down the flank, but we are sort of in a bit of a revolving maul where they're taking caps from our rear and we're taking caps from their rear, but we're sort of maintaining pace, so... we're sometimes one cap ahead, like we're going to be now, and sometimes we're even on the number of caps. We're ahead by 1 ship, but we're on double the points as a result.
Our team captured the area.
And some of our ships have very good health too, although we've lost an October Revolution. Not sure where he was as he went down. We've got fairly good health on our own here, and we've got a couple of Hawkins heading in towards trying to recover or protect their own cap. So here we go. So it's British Heavy Cruiser versus British Heavy Cruiser onto the AP, because I know exactly what their armour is because I've got it, and their armour is not great. Now, the thing I found about the Hawkins is that it just doesn't have the torpedo load to do quick kill damage. So the Devonshire has the basically a 4 torpedo spread, very much like the Leander. Whereas the Hawkins only has a 2 torpedo spread. So here I am. You can probably see I'm going to change my speed quite dramatically because that is definitely a torpedo. Oh no, I'm not going to change my speed. I'm going to turn away. Same result. Oops. Some changing of speed required here because really that destroyer is the perfect torpedo direction. The Hawkins behind is still having a go at me, but that's okay because I'm sure that that battleship will deal with them. We get rid of that Hawkins, the destroyer. The torpedoes from the destroyer pass harmlessly ahead, and we're accelerating so that the torpedoes from this particular ship pass harmlessly behind. Hopefully I get the final kills, but it's not going to look that way. No. So there we go. The Devonshire. Yeah, well, it's the first game, or second game, I think, with the Devonshire. Bit of a long-range sniper, mainly for survival rather than because it's particularly good at being a long-range sniper. As far as ships go, I'm probably going to have to put the British cruisers in the fairly ordinary bucket at the moment, although admittedly they have, it's early days, so let's see how it goes. I mean, the British light cruiser line, when you first approach it, can seem like a bit of a struggle, but once you get the hang of it, it's a brilliant line. Still, yeah, things to learn.